What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back to talk about Married to Medicine, the reunion. One thing I want to talk about really quickly, guys, that really stood out to me regarding Scott and Contessa. Well, we found out that Contessa has filed for a separation from Scott. So for some reason, guys, I don't think she's gonna divorce him. I noticed when I watched the season finale of Married to Medicine, I was very disturbed and disgusted with Scott. I do not feel like he is a good husband to Contessa. I feel like Scott is very selfish. He's narcissistic. He's disrespectful, and he is dismissive of Contessa's feelings. He kept trying to tell her at that dinner table, like, how she should feel about, what they're going through. Well, everything is good, and, why are they asking me all these questions? Because y'all know Toya, Dr. Jackie, Heavenly, Quad, they were all trying to counsel Scott and Contessa within, their marriage, because they're having a lot of different issues. And I felt like the ladies were fair, because they really care about Contessa, and they hate when they get with her. She's always crying and breaking down, and she's sad. It disturbed me when I heard Contessa, and I forgot where exactly she said it at, but she acted and maybe it was at the reunion, but she kept saying things like, well, I have 3 kids, and I'm just going through so much. Like, whatever she said, it was along the lines of, I'm staying with Scott. I got these 3 kids. We're still a family. Andy got to asking her, does she feel like, he's cheating, this, that, and the third? Oh, I don't know what he's doing. And girl, that man is up to no good. Okay, I'm going to need you to stop lying on his behalf. Okay, they have a very toxic marriage, you guys, more than anybody on this show. Like, they up there, in my opinion, with Dr. G and Quad. He's very nasty to her. And Scott, I don't feel, you guys, he wants to be on TV. I think all this TV stuff is revealing his true character, his true intentions towards his wife, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like to be exposed. I remember watching the season finale, and all the guys like Cecil, Damon wasn't there, and Curtis, Jackie's husband, they got to saying, well, they felt like Scott was defensive, because they felt like their wives were attacking him for how he treats Contessa, and they are like, you all are not there for how he treats her. Hell, like Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles can see that man treat that woman like shit. Okay, and I'm not at all, you guys, saying that Contessa is perfect. I told y'all the shit that I feel that Contessa does in her marriage, that sabotages her marriage, is she's like always got these big ass astronomical goals. And it's cool to be goal oriented, to be ambitious, but when you are married and have children, you have to consider them. They are your family, and you can't just keep doing all this stuff and, I'm gonna go to school for this long, I'm gonna leave the kids with him, and get a nanny, get shit set up, y'all got the money, girl. So, but I feel bad for Contessa. I really like Contessa. I think she's very hardworking. I think she's brilliant. She had me cracking up at the reunion when she said to Toya, she was like, well, you going through some shit. Everybody is going through some shit. And then she looks to Andy, are you going through some shit? Andy was like, no, I'm cool. That shit was funny to me. But yeah, guys, I feel very sorry for Contessa, because I feel like she has this attachment to Scott. it's not really a relationship no more. It's an attachment. We got these kids. We done been together for so long. The ladies got on her for taking a trip with her husband and her kids after she had complained heavily about how, her husband was treating her. He could be cheating. They kind of feel like she's giving out the wrong message. Jackie got on her about that because she was like, well, I'm confused about Scott and Contessa's relationship because one minute, she's complaining a lot and next minute she on vacation. They in pictures together on Instagram. It is a bit confusing, but all I have to say to that is, at the end of the day, like she said, they got 3 kids together. So maybe they wanted to take the kids out on vacation. I don't know. I'm thinking that was mainly what that was about. Contessa fought back to the ladies and said, well, hey, am I supposed to be mad all the time? And Toya was like, no, you're not supposed to be mad all the time at your husband, but, he needs to learn how to respect you, or, you don't need to be spending all this extra time with him, just cause y'all got kids. And I agree with Toya. Toya made a really good point with that. But I don't feel like Contessa had any ill intentions by going on vacation with her husband and kids. I think maybe she, just wanted to get away with them. But at the same time, this man is not treating you right. And you don't want to send the wrong message, right? That everything is all good because we on vacation. I think Contessa is scared to just admit and acknowledge that Scott is cheating. Scott then lied about having a life coach. He lied and said it's some woman he been talking to for some months. And she's the life coach, only for him to lie again later and say, well, no, I'm really been talking to a man. Like, why would you lie about that? That was a stupid enough lie. I think he been having maybe an emotional affair with a woman. Now, the white lady, what's her name? Carrie? I don't know everybody's name on here, honey. I only know the main people. But anyways, I remember when I was watching the season finale, the lady Carrie ran to Toya's room and said Scott and Contessa, was arguing. This is after, Quad and Heavily and them, they tried to talk to Scott and Contessa, just trying to get them back on the right page, in their marriage. But yeah, they had a big blowout, and Contessa found out that Scott had naked pictures of women in his phone. I saw a clip where Scott was denying that, and I never text those women back, this, that, and the third. Dude, you are cheating in your relationship. Whether you physically cheating, you are married. I could see if you were single and you had an open relationship or something, but this shit ain't open, not when you're married. Okay, you took vows. You got 3 children with this woman. Stand by her. Contessa is a lot to deal with, but she's a good woman. She really is. She really does try to do the best that she can with what she has. She's very ambitious. She loves him. She really has a loyalty to this man. But I do not feel, you guys, he is the best partner for her. Okay. I only know though, what they show us, but I don't think he's good for her. I think his type of negative, toxic behavior is a behavior that will bring Contessa down and keep her down. I've never seen Contessa do all this crying on a season. Her and Scott seem to be equally yoked. When we were first introduced to them, they seemed to be on the same page. They took up for each other. It's just so different now. And it's sad that, when these married couples, they get on these reality shows, it just really messes with the marriage. Right? Or it reveals maybe problems that was already occurring. But, it's just really sad to see. It's really sad to see. But I was just looking at them wow, I'll never look at them the same again. I feel like they have a very toxic and destructive marriage. And to me, the common denominator of the problem within that marriage is Scott. Like, he is just not good. I don't even think he's good for himself. Scott needs a lot of therapy and counseling. He tried to act like he's too good to talk to somebody. You know, like, you gotta be humble. And the women on the show, Simone broke it down the best and was like, shit, I had to file for a divorce to get Cecil's ass on the right page, to get him acting right. You know what I'm saying? Jackie said what she had to do. You know, all the ladies had to do. Quad actually had to leave her husband because he was bringing her down, and they had such a toxic relationship. So I think at the end of the day, all the ladies have Contessa's best interests at heart. And even Scott's, you know, they just trying to point out to him, you're not doing your woman the right way. You're being secretive and sneaky, and you got pictures here and there, and, you know, it does not look good. So I like how they all had her back. I love that about Married to Medicine and their relationships. Like, if they see a relationship is toxic and going down the wrong road, everybody will come together and call that shit out. And I like that. Let me get to the looks really quickly. I know this shit all over the place, y'all. Toya looked absolutely stunning. I loved her hair. I loved her dress. The three that stuck out the most to me, number one is Contessa was best dressed. I loved her hair. She just looked absolutely stunning. Okay? I'm going to say there's four that stood out. I'm going to give it to Toya for second. I'm going to give it to Heavenly for third. Okay? Heavenly looked good. Loved her dress, her hair, the color. It was on point. That is one of the best looks I've ever seen on Heavenly. Heavenly looked good. Honey with the T. So I'm giving it to Contessa, Toya, Heavenly, and then I'm going to give it to Quad because I loved her hair too, and I loved her dress as well. I like Simone's hair. Didn't really care for her dress. I mean, her hair is just okay. We know Simone ain't the most, you know, she ain't the fashionista, honey, of the group. Okay. Jackie, you know, just looked okay. I feel like Jackie could bring a little bit more to her look. It's always this boring librarian ass look, and I'm not here for it, honey. Okay. Okay, let's get to this situation with Toya and Quad. I don't know what it is with Toya and this money situation and how she has to put down Quad for living in an apartment, and then she tried to apologize for it. Bitch, you know damn well you ain't sorry for talking about her living in an apartment. You made that statement like that, Toya, because you like to look down upon people if they don't have certain things. And it's very interesting because your ass, of all the people on the cast, can barely maintain the things that you have. Okay, like, once again, you about to sell your home and you and your husband, y'all don't have shit to say about it. After y'all done did all this bragging about making your forever home, now you trying to sell it. Well, we can make more money selling it. Bullshiggity. Something tells me y'all can't afford the damn home. Okay, something is not clean in the buttermilk. Andy asked Toya, why are you moving? You know, and Toya sits up there and says, well, my sons and, you know, they're at a new school and I want to be closer to the school. Bullshit. Okay. Then you was trying to drag down Anila with her finances, saying how she owed the makeup artist. What the hell does that even have to do with you? You were supposed to be that girlfriend when she came on here. And like Anila said, you know, she wanted me to be her puppet. And I think Toya is like that, where she feel like, oh, I introduced you to this group. You need to bow down to me, be my little puppet. And Anila wasn't here for that shit. And I'm so happy that Anila, you guys, has been speaking up for herself. I love what Simone said about Anila. She said she feel like Anila tried to, you know, really get to know all of them. And I see that too. Because a lot of people, what they do when they come on the show, they only want to cling to the person that they know, right? And they don't want to get to know nobody else. I love what Jackie said to Toya. She said, you tend to generalize your behavior. You don't really take accountability. And that is so true. Toya kept arguing with Jackie and then kept trying to make it about what Eugene was going through. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I have a hard time understanding that she cares that much about how Eugene feel about anything, because hell, like when y'all had the tax issue, it was Eugene picking up the extra shifts. You should have paid more money down on them taxes. You on this show, lounging around, getting drunk. I mean, it's producing money. This is your job, rightfully so. But you should help that man a little bit more. I don't know what is up in their marriage where it just seemed like he just does like everything. And that's cool, you know, if that's how they want it. But something tells me that is going to take a toll on Eugene's health. He's not even the healthiest person on here. Okay? Toya says in her defense that her husband is the only ER doctor on the show, and she was the only one seeing, her husband is the only one that was seeing death every day, and, you know, Eugene would come home and be so depressed, and it really affected her, yada, yada, yada. I'm not buying it. That may have been happening in the home, but Toya, when you explode with your emotions, you always got some excuse. Like Dr. Jackie said, you don't take accountability. You don't own your behavior. It's always, I was acting like that because I was under this amount of stress, when really it's your husband that's under the damn stress. Okay? And are you properly helping him? Because what it be looking like, Toya, is all you want to do is play tennis all day and have drinks. Okay? And I'm going to keep saying this, you guys. I think Toya needs to do more business-wise. I think Toya is a very beautiful woman. She needs to capitalize off of that. And just, like, do makeup. Come out with some new lipsticks. Like, Toya always looks so beautiful and nice. Hell, be a real estate agent. Like, you love shopping for these big exorbitant homes. Like, you love these big old expensive ass properties. Start selling them. Like, turn that shit into money. Stop trying to just look the part. And that's what ghetto girls do. They want to look the part, but they don't really want to do the work. So that is like what I see, guys, when I look at Toya. It's like, just when I think she's growing up, you know, and she's getting it, she don't really get it. Okay? She don't really get it. And then she starts all this crying and shit. You know, she got all emotional. I remember she cried like that before. What was it? The birth control. No, bitch, you're just like that. Okay, I remember she went off on Eugene out of town and was screaming and hollering and then ended up crying, and, you know, Simone had to go talk to her then. I remember that. You know, it's always a reason for these outbursts when really this is who you are. And Toya is an Aries. These motherfuckers are children. I've dated Aries. I was best friends with a couple of Aries. I'm telling you. Okay, I know how they get down. They are the children of the zodiac for a reason. They don't like to admit that they're wrong. They're very arrogant. They're very pompous. They want their way. They don't know how to properly respect people's boundaries. And they have a my way is a highway attitude. Now, this is your dark-sided Aries. I'm not saying all Aries is like this, but like dark-sided Aries, they get down like that. So Toya needs to change her ways and stop trying to use all these little generalizations for, you know, why she do certain stuff. Like Dr. Jackie said, accountability is your friend, bitch. You need to get real cool with her, okay? I love that Quad bragged about her new home and it's resort style. I think they showed some clips of it. It looks beautiful. Where's the baby that Quad adopted, guys? Where's the baby? That's what I would want to know. Like, does she still have that baby she adopted? But I'm proud of Quad, because Quad said, I did it all, Toya, without a man's help, okay? And for some reason, and I could be wrong, guys, but I just feel like Toya may be a little jealous of Quad in terms of her independence. She can get shit done without a man. It seems like Toya is like clinging like to her husband for everything. And then she likes to make little shady ass comments to Quad. I don't know why they all are like in this competition with each other over homes and how much a home costs, or you was paying $5,000 in rent. Like, what is the purpose? When Toya was saying all that shit about Quad, I said, there you go. You being shady. You being shady, okay? The part that had me cracking up is when Heavenly said, Toya, bitch, fuck you and them tears. That shit was funny. You only care about your damn self. I felt that, honey. It seemed like Heavenly slapped me with that. That shit was so funny, but it was so true, okay? Let's get to Quad and this emoji gate thing. I feel like Quad was wrong when she went off on Heavenly like that. Quad, you was just out of order in so many ways. You and Heavenly supposed to be cool, and you took that emoji that she used and just went in on her, and then they got your ass on tape saying, well, I don't know. It seemed like she said one thing on the show, and then she said another thing in this new interview that I'm seeing, because she's just like, oh, well, Heavenly had been talking shit about me for a while, and yeah, when I had the chance to go all in, I went all in. You saying that one minute, the next minute, to Heavenly, when y'all actually got into it on the show, you was like, oh, well, you know, the emojis on Androids read differently to iPhone. Bitch, which one is it? So, Quad, you're a liar, okay? You lied. Tell the damn truth. And Quad has a way with her. I like Quad, guys. I think she's very charismatic, very funny, very matter of fact. You know, I do like some of that. But Quad has a tendency of acting like a know-it-all. Like she's above reproach. Like you can't come at her any kind of way. She can say whatever she wants to you. You know, like Heavenly said, Quad can be overly sensitive at times. She could throw stuff out there, but she can't take it back, you know, when it's given to her. So I do believe that's true. Did y'all see Anila's new house? That mug looks nice. What is it? Even bigger than Toya's, honey. I know Toya don't like that, honey. Okay, that's another thing with Aries. They're very competitive. Okay, and they will compete even when they don't compare, honey. Okay, a dark-sided Aries, that is how they would get down. What did y'all think about her apology to Anila? I just felt like she did it because she was on here with Andy at the reunion. I don't think Toya meant that shit. All right. And I feel like Anila genuinely felt hurt. Like, damn, this girl brought me on the show and just started treating me like shit, you know? But Anila wasn't here for it, like I said. Heavenly and Toya made up after they had a whole shade fest at the reunion. What do I think about it? Them fools will be at it again. See, I was like, this shit is just for the reunion. I hate when they do this fake ass shit. Like, if you don't like a bitch, then end the reunion not liking that bitch. But quit with this fake ass apologizing, because when next season come, y'all gonna be at it again, and I ain't trying to hear it. Child, it was so funny when Toya kissed Heavenly on the mouth. Heavenly was turned on by that kiss. Okay, that shit was funny. It was funny when Heavenly wanted to kiss Quad, but she brought up Daddy, talking about, no, I'm faithful to Daddy, I'm not gonna do that or whatever. I'm like, what is up with Quad kissing these women, honey? I think Quad and Anila had a moment where they kissed. I thought that was just crazy. I think I see Contessa with a woman, because when that segment came up, Contessa was just a smiling and cheesing, honey. And don't forget, Contessa is known to be in that confessional talking about all the women that she would knock off, honey. Okay, the Beyoncés, the Rihannas, and, you know, she named some other people too. I was like, okay, Contessa. I really love the point that Simone made. Cecil was getting nervous backstage. Did y'all see that? He like, damn, shit, don't get Simone riled up. Don't remind her, honey, what we went through. But I like what Simone said to Contessa, because I felt like Contessa was being a little too defensive of Scott, like, well, he has too many inappropriate friendships and relationships and conversations with people outside of his marriage, but he has to think that that's inappropriate, right? And Simone was like, hell no, he ain't gotta feel it. Shit, you tell him how you feel, and if I'm not making you feel that way, I don't have those type of relationships on the side, you gotta cut people off. And she said that was a deal breaker that almost ended my marriage. I remember she had Cecil in his friendship with his female friend. And I don't blame Simone. The bitch was coming around during the holidays, staying for days at a time. Inappropriate and out of order. Unless the wife is cool with that and she's friends with the friend too, then that's different. Because maybe y'all look at her like family, right? But when only the husband want that person around, to me, is inappropriate. I'm just saying. I heard Scott backstage saying some shit about, oh, I'm going to leave because I feel like this is a sneak attack since, you know, she filed for the separation or whatever. Like I told y'all, I don't think she's going to end up filing for divorce. I do believe maybe she did something as far as separating from him. Him responding like that instead of being like, y'all remember how Cecil was acting when Cecil looked very genuinely hurt when he found out Simone had filed for divorce. He looked like he was desperate to fix things with them. Cecil loved his wife. That's one thing, you know, we can't take away from Cecil, right? He's not a perfect man, but that man fought for his wife and his family. And I don't see Scott doing that, guys. I see somebody that's pompous, that's arrogant, that's very, he's insensitive to his wife's needs and what she wants. Is kind of this my way or the highway attitude and approach. And he's wrong for that. And them men back there, they need to check his ass. They need to humble his ass, or it's a wrap for Scott and Contessa. I really feel like she should pull the plug now. He's just nasty. All of those ladies were crying when they found out Contessa filed for a separation. These women care about her and her relationship with Scott. They want her to be happy again. I was touched by that, by all of them crying. Because even on Atlanta, which is my favorite, Real Housewives of Atlanta, everybody ain't gonna cry like that if you file for a separation or divorce from your husband. Them bitches don't care. But like I told y'all, Married to Medicine, they are a family. They want to see each other win. Well, some of them. But I think they can fight and be catty, but one thing I like about Married to Medicine is everybody felt bad to hear that this woman had to file a separation from her husband. Heavenly's crying, Jackie's crying, Simone, Quad, like everybody. Toya was affected, right? Her and Contessa ain't been on the best terms. She was affected. So to me, that's cool as hell. You know, so we gonna see what happens, guys, on part 2. That's all I have for this. If I missed anything, feel free to put it down in Miss Robinson's comments, honey. But don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.